14th Thursday meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Chairman Paternoster.
Here.
Vice Chair Nafrio. Here. Secretary O'Rourke. Here. Philip Dalmeyer.
Here.
David McMahon. Deborah Premier. Here.
All right, at this time, we'd like to acknowledge that Ed Cordino has stepped down from the Board of Education. We'd like to thank Ed for his almost 3 years of service. And we'll have a replacement for Ed in the coming years, the coming days. Salute the flag, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Visitors, comments, limited to the agenda. Okay. Student representatives.
Before we begin, let's introduce our new student members here. This is their first time with us. We have Gabby Nunziato and John Opie. Congratulations to the two of you. We're happy that you're here with us, and we certainly look forward to hearing your input and having you share information with our board. I am passing around a biography of these two students. You should have it in front of you. It speaks to the quality and commitment that they have to their education, not only in the classroom, but extracurricular. So you'll see they're very well rounded, and I think they'll bring a great deal. So congratulations to the two of you, and welcome.
Thank you.
All right, as Mr. Schoonmaker said, I'm John Opie, and I'm one of the student representatives. I would like to start off tonight by saying Mr. Scheffler is unable to attend because he is at a Shoreline Musical Festival in Portland, where this evening 18 members of the NBHS music program are performing as we speak. They left at about 11 o'clock this morning, and they're playing throughout the night, and should be home tomorrow. There are 10 instrumentalists and 8 vocalists performing, and they're showcasing the best musicians of the conference. It is the largest group in the NBHS students have ever participated. Going back in time about 3 weeks ago, on Friday, September 26th, members of the NBHS Chamber Ensemble formed the East Shore Health Department celebration that was held in Branford. Following the event, the East Shore Health Department provided a $250 donation, which is being used for flags and uniforms for the newly founded NBHS Color Guard that will be marching in the NBHS band during events later this year. Next, the annual Grade 8 Parent-Student Open House took place on Thursday, October 9th at 7 p.m. at NBHS. The students shared a brief presentation in the auditorium, and then afterwards they visited their parents, and students began to visit classrooms, which included mini presentations for all core areas, and students also went to the gymnasium where there were representatives from clubs and sports teams, which provided insight and information on the subject. This event ran very smoothly, and the current members of the National Honor Society on hand to assist parents for moving us throughout the campus.
Additionally, yesterday on Wednesday, October 15th, all NBHS grade 10 and grade 11 students completed the PSAT testing during their first 2 periods. Following these test results, once they're completed, the College Board will provide the schools with AP potential and trend data regarding college and career readiness. Finally, coming up next week is the NBHS Homecoming Week scheduled for October 20th through October 24th. The homecoming will be filled with the following creative themes. The 20th will be Twin Day, 21st, Superhero Day, 22nd, Disney Day, 23rd, NB Colors Day, and 24th, Pajama Day. The week will conclude with the annual homecoming dance on Friday evening. During the homecoming game on October 23rd, the members of classes of 1968, 1967, 1966, and 1965 will be introduced during halftime as a part of the 50th anniversary celebration of NBHS. The game will be filmed from 3 different cameras featuring 3 different angles, and which will be aired on the Public Access Channel and on T-Bird News Channel, which will be played in the auditorium for Spirit Day, which will take place on November 26th. Moreover, the returning graduates will be provided with a complimentary ticket to enter, a memento commemorating the event, and the halftime acknowledgement as the citizens who attended NVHS during the 1964 to 1965 school year, 50 years ago. The night should be fun and exciting with the commemoration, the fundraising tables for various clubs and sports, the pizza selling, the visit from the sugar cupcake truck, and much more.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
You guys want to stay or go? It's up to you guys. It's probably something to do at home.
Homework.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Good
Nice
job.
meeting you. See you next meeting. All right, approval of previous minutes from September 18th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 18, 2014 Board of Education meeting as submitted.
I'll second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Chairman Paternoster,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nafrio,
Yes.
Secretary O'Rourke,
Yes.
Philip Delmeyer,
Yes.
Deborah Prunier.
Yes.
All right, personnel, no, nothing at this time. We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I'm very pleased this evening to have members of our drama club here. As you recall, last year you had a sneak peek before the show, and we are going to do that again. But I'm going to read just from the playbill a little bio on the event, so you have a better understanding. The NBIS Spotlight Players are proud to present Annie, their second annual fall musical production. This drama club involves 86, I'll say that again, 86 North Branford intermediate school students who make up the cast, crew, and pit band of the show, as well as 7 North Branford high school students who are drama club alumni and have returned to assume a leadership position. The drama club provides a wealth of artistic opportunity, presenting students with the creative challenges that enhance their critical thinking skills. By running our drama club like a community theater, students are empowered to take on roles and responsibilities that will prepare them for real-life success. After last year's sold-out production of The Wizard of Oz, the Spotlight Players are thrilled to continue the tradition of bringing the North Branford community a fantastic theater experience. So mark your calendars. I'm giving you dates now. The show dates are Friday, November 21st, and Saturday, the 22nd at 7 p.m. in our, North Branford Auditorium. Tickets are $10 each, and will be sold in advance and at the door. And I have Sharon Moss and Meredith Lanzanco here tonight. Obviously, Sharon directs the show and heads up our theater department, and Meredith heads up the music department at the middle school, and they have worked in concert and have done a phenomenal job, not only last year, but in all of our activities where they're able to work together. So I'm going to turn the program over to you, and thank you to our students for being here tonight.
Come on up, guys.
Thank you very much for the introduction. We're very, very happy to be here, and we're thrilled to have our first live performance that's outside of our regular rehearsal time. My name is Sharon Manas. I'm thrilled and proud to be directing a fantastic group of North Branford students in Annie the Musical. And these students have been working tirelessly all hours afternoon, on the weekends, putting costumes together, making beautiful music, pulling our show together in every artistic way that you can possibly imagine, and I couldn't be more proud. We have a select group of 5 of our actors here tonight who will be doing a mini showcase, so we get a little bit of a sneak preview tonight. And this is...
Hi, I'm Meredith Lanzanco. I'm the band director at North Branford Intermediate School. I'm also the music director of this wonderful production of Annie. Annie is actually a show that I have always wanted to be a part of. It is such a wonderful cornerstone of musical theater, and we have some phenomenal kids to be a part of it this year. I am so lucky to get to work with them, especially some of them who I've known for several years now. Just seeing them shine in a completely different way outside of the classroom is such a joy, and I know you are going to enjoy the performance. So without further ado, we have our 5 students here this evening. We have Miss Bella DiMartino, we have Miss Alyssa Diaz, we have Juliana Candelora, Mr. Andrew Solito, and Ian McClay. And they are going to introduce themselves to you and tell you a little bit about their characters.
Hi, I'm Bella DiMartino, and I'm playing Miss Hannigan, and I'm in 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Diaz, and I'm playing Lily, and I'm in 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Juliana Candelora. I'm playing Annie, and I'm in 7th grade.
Hi, I'm Andrew Solito. I'm playing Rooster, and I'm in 6th grade.
Hi, I'm Ian McClay. I'm playing Daddy Warbucks, and I'm in 8th grade.
Okay, so without any further hesitation, we're going to begin tonight's program with Juliana Candelora playing Annie. We'll be singing the song Maybe. So let's get Juliana to the stage.
That's created problems for others.
Next up, we have the song Easy Street, which you'll recognize from pretty much any movie version of Annie. So Hannigan, Brewster, Lily, take it away.
It ain't fair how we scrounge for $3 or $4 while she gets $4.
The little brat.
It ain't fair, this here life is driving me nuts.
While we get peanuts, she's living fat.
Maybe she holds the key, that little lady,
To getting more bucks.
instead of less. Maybe we fix the game with something shady.
Where does that put us?
Give your one guess.
Yes!
Easy Street, Easy Street, is the key.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah! Easy Street, Easy Street, that's where we're gonna be.
And our final presentation that we're going to have for tonight is a number called I Don't Need Anything But You, featuring Warbucks and Annie, so come on out. And before the final number, I hope that everybody's able to make this fantastic show. It's, like we said, Friday, November 21st and Saturday, November 22nd, 7 o'clock at North Branford Auditorium. Tickets go on sale to the public on November 12th. So November 12th, tickets go on sale to the public. It's reserved seating this year. That's our big change this year. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there, and thank you so much for your time and for allowing us this opportunity. Take it away, guys.
Together at last,
together forever. We're tying a knot they never can sever. I don't need sunshine now to turn my skies to blue. I don't need anything but you.
Yesterday was plain awful.
You can say that again.
Yesterday was plain awful.
But that's
Not now.
that's then.
I'm poor as a mouse.
I'm richer than Midas, but nothing on earth could ever divide us. And if tomorrow I'm an apple seller too, I don't need anything,
Anything.
anything. I don't need anything but you.
Well, perfect dancing on carpet, I think. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We thank you all. We hope to see you at the show. Good night. So relaxed. We're having fun. They were having fun doing it though.
How do we follow that?
It's a turn. That was wonderful.
Okay, well, again, thank you for supporting and encouraging the arts as usual. You provide the opportunities, and we've been able to grow our music and arts program, and that's due to your support, so thank you. You do make that happen. Continuing to move on with student recognition, we're so fortunate to have 3 Tutucket Valley students here. They were award-winning writing and artwork being selected by the Yale Center for the British Arts, and Patty Dara is here this evening. I'm going to turn the program over to her at this time. She will introduce a very special guest that's here with us from the museum. We've had a wonderful relationship, and we've been so fortunate in North Branford to continue this partnership. And without further ado, Patty, if you would introduce and share a little bit about the program.
Sure. So good evening, everybody. We've had a very rich relationship with the Yale Center for British Art and our school district for about the last 10 years. And in fact, throughout 3 of the schools in the district, we now have 15 teachers who have attended the Summer Teacher Institute and have been trained in visual literacy strategies and use them in their classrooms to teach literacy and continue to use the museum as a resource for education. So I'd also like to thank, before I get into any further, Linda Friedlander. She's the Senior Educational Curator at the museum. And Linda has, over the years, not only supported our staff, but also found really unique opportunities for our students to showcase their work, from high school kids playing in the museum or singing in the museum to these wonderful students getting to bring their art and display it in Washington, D.C. Linda called me early last fall and told us of this opportunity. There was going to be an art exhibit to highlight writing and artwork for elementary students. Actually, I think there were high school students in that exhibit as well. And it was sponsored by the United States Department of Education and the American Association of Museum Directors. So Linda had put us together with that, thinking it would be great for our students, which it was. And their artwork is over here on display if you haven't had a chance to see it. It was a very hard decision to find these great pieces of artwork, but what really brought these to the forefront was the children's writing as well as their art. Our partnership is unique based on the fact that we really do integrate art and art making in the writing process. So we're very proud of all our students. And Dr. Lindsay wanted me to express her congratulations to all of you. She unfortunately could not be here tonight. But the exhibit returned their artwork, which is on display, like I said, along with some certificates of accomplishment. And we'll hand those out to you in a few minutes, but I believe Linda wanted to say a few words. This is Linda Friedlander, the Curator of Education at the museum.
Good evening. I really wanted to come here tonight to thank this community for so much that you have given us at the museum and supported us and made us look really good. And Scott, I remember meeting you the year that you started here. And you know, the superintendent didn't know how you were going to feel about whether we have your support behind this. And, you know, there was never a moment's hesitation. And the staff that you have here, and I know some have come and gone because I can't believe it's been a partnership for that long, but they bought into this program. The students come to the museum multiple times a year. We work with primary grades, first, second, and third, and you would be amazed that they come to the museum and they can spend at least 2 hours at a time in the museum in front of works of art, talking about them and writing about them. And you have given us the opportunity to showcase your staff and your students' work in more ways than this, because I knew Patty for about 7 months and was giving a presentation about the North Branford partnership and at a professional museum meeting in Boston, and somebody dropped out, and I wanted a representative there from the teachers. And so I called Patty and I said, "Are you doing anything this weekend?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay, you're going to come to Boston with me and I want you to present about this program." And she just jumped right in, and we've actually done a couple of things over the years where Patty has represented Northford. It was really exciting having your students be represented. You have to know that the art part and the writing that goes hand in hand, and that's why we do it, was just the best. One of the objects was actually selected by the Department of Education for the front of the brochure that was handed out in DC. So Northford has always been cutting edge, at the forefront. And I just want to thank you because, as I said, you've helped us make a very special program grow. And I know that when, and then I'll stop. But I know that when the New Haven Board of Ed got wind of this, okay, we heard from them at the museum, and they said, "We want you to do in New Haven what you've done in Northford." Okay, so you people have set the bar really high. And I appreciate the parents, the board, the faculty, people like Patty, and your superintendent. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I believe one of the children couldn't make it, but Mia Park is one of our
No, I have to say, just as an aside, we were so impressed. Linda and I went to the opening ceremony when they did their ribbon cutting, and actually, you guys should know this, the Deputy Undersecretary actually referenced the North Branford writing. Yes. In her speech, we were like, yes! That's us!
So we have federal funding, or?
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Okay.
And we have Alyssa Beardsley.
Mom, another photo. I'm going to ask that you send those to my office. I apologize.
Oh,
And those are on our website. You can forward them to me if you're okay with that. Our photographer couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, so he's at a concert. You're going to go.
Gavin Dow and Jimmy Zhang were also other contributing artists, and they're not here tonight, but we'll send them your things. Okay?
We will put them on our website at the museum as well. Thanks, Scott.
I want to commend Patty for her efforts, and she has been the one that has taken on the lion's share of the leadership in continuing this partnership, and she's spent countless hours at the museum, and has really enriched the lives of so many students. If you haven't been to the museum, it's in our backyard, and it's unfortunate that many kids will never get an opportunity to go in and see the beautiful work there, let alone to have the rich experience with Yale and be part of something so exciting. So Patty, thank you. To travel to DC and represent North Branford and Northford together is amazing for a small community, a small town, and you've made it work. So, and I know Dr. Lindsay, who couldn't be here this evening, is equally as proud and supports all of your efforts. So, thank you. Okay, I did skip over one of the agenda items, but I don't know if you pick up on it or not. I'm so excited about the students, but we are thrilled to recognize a commended student on the PSAT as part of the National Merit Scholarship Program. She is one of 34,000 students recognized nationally. Carly is not here, Mastriano. Is she here? She's not here tonight. I knew she couldn't make it. But I do want to publicly acknowledge this achievement, and having been a high school principal for a number of years, rarely do you get a student that rises to this level and is acknowledged by the PSAT as a National Merit student. So congratulations to her. We do have a certificate honoring her, and I will get that to her in the morning. So congratulations to her. Okay, and that is it. We have our board briefs. There's obviously a venue of things that the schools have been very busy with various fundraising events and professional development opportunities for the staff. We have a letter from the Susan Coleman Cure Connecticut Foundation recognizing our high school student council. That's Exhibit C that's attached. If you have any questions about that, Mr. Steffler is attending the concert this evening, as our student reps mentioned. And again, I want to acknowledge the fact that this was the greatest number of North Branford students to attend. You have to audition. It's a very select group of musicians that go and perform. And to have the number of students recognized certainly speaks volumes to the music program here in the district. And that starts at the elementary school. You know that we've added additional time at Branford. We've introduced the music program a year prior to what we've done in the past, and it will pay great dividends, and our middle school program is thriving. So all of these things move up to the excellence that we're seeing at our high school. So I want to thank you again for your continued support of arts. We do have a field trip request that our students will travel to the United Nations in New York City on October 30th. That's a Thursday. In preparation for the Model UN simulation event. The purpose of the trip is to visit UN ambassadors from Costa Rica and Colombia in preparation to represent those countries in the 2014 Model UN. So this is a great opportunity. We do not need approval for this. This is not an overnight trip. I just wanted to acknowledge and make you aware of that. Mr. Winnicki presented enrollment, or he spoke about enrollment data. He's going to pass out.
This is actually last year's versus October 1st. So based on what we were anticipating versus what we actually have, we're about 10 students different, so that's not a big change.
Any questions on the enrollment data? I think we're 10 students off projected 1968 to 1958, so not bad.
Not bad, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Any questions for Mr. Winnicki regarding the enrollment?
The jump in third grade, it seems, we eliminated a class. That's what I said. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. No. Okay, so we're talking about teacher in there. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
you're talking about the size?
The size of the class, yeah. Right. And then that's like two.
Well, no, there wasn't, you know, this is always the kind of the catch-22 with this. That, the number in the projection on the left-hand side was simply grade 1 moved down to grade 2. So with grade 1, 13, 14 moved down to grade 2.
So the projection.
We actually did have an increase of 9 students at that grade level.
Right. So the projection for third grade was us projecting for 8 classes, when in reality we ended up with 7 classes. So we dispersed the same amount of, well,
Yes.
roughly the same amount of kids into 7 classes.
On average, that would increase the class size by 2 to 3 students. If we run our numbers between 18 and 21.
And in some ways, we were a little bit fortunate there because the total number of students actually dropped a little between the projection and the actual.
All set?
Yep.
Okay, moving along, the homecoming game that was announced by our student reps is a week from tonight on Thursday, the 23rd of October, starting at 6:30. I've been sending bits and pieces of information regarding the events of that evening. There are posters around town to recognize what will happen that night with our 4 classes coming back on the 50th year anniversary, the week that leads up to the game, and most importantly, the fundraiser that's taking part for Lila. I left an article with a bracelet in front of you. If you're not aware, we are reaching out as a community, as a school district, to assist a young lady in 2nd grade. And we're thrilled to be taking part in this fundraising event. I really hope to see all you can do there that evening. If it's only there for a few minutes to come out and show your support. We have a number of things lined up for Lila in her class, her teacher duty, and there's a number of people that are making this happen, and it's really North Branford proud when you see the care and compassion that are going out in support of this. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you want to volunteer and assist in any way or help out, just give me a call and we'll put you to work there.
What time does it start?
The game starts at 6:30, and we'll obviously be there probably at 5:30.
5:30.
Everything ready to go.
I'll be happy to volunteer, so if whatever you need, just send me an email.
Okay, fantastic. The middle school music program will be performing with the high school band. We're going to have youth football and youth cheerleading there as well. And, a number of the students will be selling and fundraising and doing things throughout the entire campus. There'll be fireworks after the game. I'm guessing around 9 o'clock if we finish the game on time. So it should be a wonderful night. We're just hoping things are crossed for great weather. And whatever we get dealt with, we'll make it work with the weather and a great night. So,
Thank you, Scott.
thank you. And that's it for my presentation.
All right, moving on to committee reports, negotiations.
Because of some scheduling issues between myself and the ASME rep, we haven't met a lot recently. We did meet this week, and I'm getting some more cost data from our medical insurance carrier.
Okay. Thank you. Budget and operations.
Well, I had a walkthrough.
Yeah.
We had a walkthrough. Thank you to Rose Angeloni and Joe Fawn,
Bill Chovy.
Bill Chose. Special thank you to Bill Chovy and Scott, and to Rose and Joe for showing up. We walked in and saw some of the issues at the auditorium, and we went and saw a few of the leaks at the intermediate school. So it's just a little easier when you're talking about things for money and budgeting, when you actually see it, when you actually see the actual need. And
I mean, even on our end, we speak about it, and, Mr. Davis and everybody speaks about it. But then you physically go to school and you see water stains in the roof that kids are, walking under. it puts a new perspective on, you know, as you discuss it, it's one thing, but when you actually see in reality, it's an entirely different, you know, rust. You know, something I wouldn't want to go to school at, or my kids, so it's very enlightening. Again, I'd like to thank Rose and Joe Fornin for taking time out of their day as well as Bill Chody. Moving on.
The budget.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you want to do the budget, John?
Well, the budget, it really is nothing of significance to report. We remain slightly over budget on workers' comp and liability insurance, but as I said, those have been encumbered for the year, so I'm not anticipating any major changes in that. That's pretty much should be where we are.
Curriculum, instruction, and strategic planning.
We had a great presentation about the high school teachers presented along with the student on the use of technology in classrooms, and it was really eye-opening, I think, for me personally, having not been in high school for quite some time, to see the advances in the different teaching techniques and how they can leverage technology to reach children at a different level, right? So you could read from a book, but to have it actually like come alive, and then use it. I'm sure you want to speak more to that.
Thank you. We'd like to thank Branford, Jessica Barbado, Lauren Danner, and John Rapport from the high school for presenting the different ways in which they incorporate technology, specifically iPads, into the classroom. Each of those teachers, besides John Rapport, has classes that have full sets of iPads at their disposal. They each spoke about reaching, as Colby mentioned, reaching various students where each is in the learning process and helping bring them forward so that they all have access to the same high-quality curriculum that we're hoping that all children are able to be successful with it.
I found it to be very, very enlightening. They actually put iPads in front of us and had us answer questions and go through a little lesson. We won't say how we did, but I won't say how I did on the lesson, but it was very, very interesting, and it was something that I've been passionate about for a while, about bringing more technology in, or getting more iPads, I should say, for the students.
And we're talking about the benefits of the students, but there's also benefits to the educators, right? So they're getting real-time feedback and being able to react to that quickly rather than, you know, taking papers home and grading them and then coming back the next day. When we have so much information to cover, it's nice to get that live feedback to know, okay, maybe I need to stop and revisit this right now rather than, you know, a week from now when all the papers are graded.
And the flipped classroom was a very interesting concept. It really was. It's a teacher that doesn't have iPads for all of his students, but he does the lesson. He videotapes himself with his iPad doing the lesson, and the kids can access it from their computer at home, their iPad at home, their smartphone, so they can actually look at the lesson the night before, so it's not all new to them the next day, and they can go in with their questions and be more prepared for class. And it's very interactive because they can send him questions and he can, you know, send them the answers back, and I can imagine how much that helps with homework. Absolutely.
And not to put you on the spot, but is it possible to sit in on any of those professional days when they're sharing that information, or?
Absolutely, and if it is something that would interest the board or the public, we could videotape the teachers getting the in-service of the professional development that we provide them on these topics, and then play it on public access television. I really can't say that we could do that with children because we can't broadcast the children, but for the teachers' workshops, we could do that.
Or do you want to go live?
Well, that's right, yeah, just to sit in on it and.
You're confident after that little lesson that
I would say the board could do that. Obviously, if we opened it to the public, would be a little much, but absolutely. I mean, I think that's something that we could do. And I have a feeling that the teachers, they were very excited about presenting this evening.
Right.
I mean, and this isn't something that only happens in the high school, so I'm sure that other teachers would be happy to present either at a board meeting or even at one of the libraries for the public, just so that parents and other people can see what exactly is being offered in the buildings and what the type of technology that we're able to purchase is doing for the students.
Sure.
Well, I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that, you know, we say we want all this technology, and so you really see what the purpose of it is. Everybody sees the what iPad we were on, everybody thinks it's going to be iTunes or whatever, and even sitting up here myself, you're wondering, like, you know, do you really you know, you're talking big money, but then sitting there tonight and going through the presentation, and like Marcy and Kobe are saying, physically going through it, it's like, wow. It's like, it keeps your interest, it makes the student, you know, more enthusiastic. You get, you know, positive feedback right away. We know where we are. And hopefully, you know, I'd say that one of my goals would be is to somehow accomplish this, you know, in the very near future, because I think it's something that we need. Until you brought it tonight, Tracy, you know, I was a little leery, not leery, but, you know, I'm not a technology person and say, is it too much? But once they did, and the 4 people were great. Once we sat and went step by step, it was like, man, this is almost like a no-brainer.
It's great getting that 0 out
It
of
was
2
my
right away.
favorite curriculum meeting so far.
Well, there's a difference between using technology as an ancillary material for learning, meaning you go home and type a paper, versus incorporating it into the culture of learning that we have. And that's the purpose that's our intent. And to do that, we need an abundance of technology. We need to make sure that every child has access to the technology and we can put it in everybody's hands.
That was very, very enlightening.
It is a tool, as was mentioned. We have 140 in circulation right now at the high school in the different core areas. And, you know, it's something that the teachers can access and use, but more importantly, I think the energy and compassion that you saw with those teachers. All 4 teachers have less than 10 years of experience here in North Branford. 2 were hired within the last 3 years. And to take on leadership roles with the high school team and be here presenting this evening speaks volumes to where we're going in that direction. But again, I can't stress the importance of their daily interaction and interfacing with the students one-on-one, and our ability to enhance that through technology. It makes for these types of exciting opportunities.
Well, I think it's a good time to start the talks about this because budget season is coming upon us. And, you know, it can be a little bit of an initial investment, but I think once the initial investment is over, it could be very, very cost saving. Their books are on there, we won't have to, you know.
I think the initial cost we can show the
Offset.
offset, correct, the cost for the, you know, savings for the book, so.
And I do have to acknowledge, Bruce, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but the amount of technology that we have in this district is superior to many surrounding towns. We are so fortunate with the smart boards in every teaching classroom. The number of computers that we have in the district is 1,500 in the district. So we are in great shape, and for our staff members to have the ability to work with tablets and laptops and have computers that they can take with them home to interface and work with students, we really are in great shape.
Is there a way, roughly we're at probably 25% currently, 20 to whatever, just my own information, is there a way we can come up with some type of number for us to implement this so we have, I mean, we've been throwing around $200 roughly.
I'm sure Mr. Williams and I can
Is there a way you can
the
come up
projections.
with what it would be to put our high school fully staffed? I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I would like to see the number of.
I think it may be easier to implement it starting with incoming freshmen grade.
Well, it's like still
You
see.
can get both.
Yeah, I get both
No
numbers.
harm
What
in
would it be to
having
go
what you have, the better
per
decision.
class, like, you know, Bruce, like, what would be for incoming freshmen roughly, and what it would be to incorporate the balance of the high school, you know, and I'd just be curious to see. We've been throwing around $200. I don't know if that's a good number or not. That way we can get a number, and then we can look at it and say, how can we offset this? You know, do we charge parents something per year? You know, we have a better idea of what we're looking at as a board, at least I would.
So we have a number in
Yeah.
mind before we start the budget process.
It is something feasible, then I believe that we would really go forward, but till we have that somewhat hard number, it's very hard to have a real dialogue to say, this is what it is, can we do it? So if we're next, you know, by budget season, we can come up with something, I personally would appreciate it.
Yeah, I would too. I talked with you about some ideas that you can share with Bruce.
And I would like to see be proactive, like, you know, give us more than, you know, maybe what's coming out. I'm not you know, let's not go with, I want to be on this, some of the edge, you know, the head edge, whatever you want to call it.
We're always on the edge.
Yeah, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be, I don't want to be iPad 1, I want to be, you know, a little progressive.
iPad 1.
It's like the old cell phones, the old bag days, you know? But I think that would be a good starting ground for us. And, we're done, right?
Yeah.
Pension, no meeting. No meeting. Policy,
Policy, Dave isn't here tonight. We do have 4 first reads for the board. These are all policies which were revised as a result of either the latest round of legislation or, in the case of Family Medical Leave Act, the development of some guidelines for paraprofessionals. Attendance, really, there weren't a lot of changes to the policy itself, but the policy does reference the statutory guidelines for excused absences, and that now includes some circumstances under which a child may be excused for a parent or guardian who's on leave from active military duty. Drug and alcohol use by students basically mirrors the employee policy that was approved last month. Family medical leave was a policy that was actually quite old, so there are a number of revisions to it. One of them, as I mentioned, was the paraprofessionals. Typically, you had to work 1,250 hours in order to be eligible for family medical leave coverage. The legislature specifically added a category for paraprofessionals who work 950 hours. So that was a change. It also changed a number of other things, and some of them were more technical changes. And so that's basically it. Oh, and there also were some changes that had been made previously, but not yet incorporated into our policy regarding someone who has a family member in military service. So there are now some circumstances under which you can also obtain a family medical leave for that. And finally, school volunteers. This adds the DCF registry check requirement, which we have been doing, but this actually puts it in the policy. And it also really equates the requirements for standards of conduct for a volunteer to that of an employee. So the concept basically is that we expect the same sort of behavior from our school volunteers as we do from our employees.
thank you, Don. ACES,
It wasn't looking so far this month.
thank you, Phil, good report. Building committee, no, building committee is this coming Monday. Communication,
We didn't have a meeting.
hey, we're rolling.
The walkthrough.
Was our communication?
Right.
Calendar,
We just put this on the agenda because the calendar, you may recall, is no longer a standing committee, so we're going to need someone to participate on that committee. We haven't really scheduled a starting point yet because we're still trying to get some information. You may recall there were some statutory provisions regarding a common calendar. So ACES is charged with developing the common calendar for our region. And as far as we know, it's not available yet for 15-16. And the other two questions are, there was some talk about delaying the mandatory implementation to 16-17. And there was also some talk about allowing for 5 waiver days or 5 days, variation days from the common calendar. So those are a couple of fairly significant items that we wanted to try to get answers to prior to actually convening the committee. So this is really just kind of to put it on the docket.
Well, I've done calendar for a number of years, so I'll be happy to continue with it.
Okay.
We're waiting, ACES will be meeting over the next several weeks with our superintendent's group to provide input on that calendar. So we'll know more in the next probably 4 to 6 weeks of where that's going.
okay, thank you. Moving on to business. Nothing? Good as
for years we talked about visual literacy, for years and years, and I have to admit, I didn't totally understand the concept of it. And back in, I don't know, it was over the summer sometime, I think, they did like a little movie down at YCVA, and some of our students were in it, some of our teachers were in it, and I went to the showing of that at Yale Center for British Arts, and what an understanding I have of visual literacy now, and it just engages the children in such a different way. I totally looked at it as total opposite of what I really thought it was. It was really, really amazing. And watching those kids, and I actually went when the kids were there one time, years and years ago, and just watching them was amazing. I never had an appreciation for art like that, especially at their age, and I think it's just amazing. So I'm glad we're still partnered up with them.
Anything else? Visitors and press. Wow.
No one on the right, no one. I know, are they okay?
Oh, it's Cliff's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Potter.
He's out having corned beef and cabbage.
What?
He's out for dinner with Dolly and corned beef and cabbage.
Good for them.
Oh, that was good.
Good for them.
Very nice.
All right, the next Board of Ed meeting is
Before we break, we do have staff members in the back of the audience.
Oh.
And they are in the 092 program to Southern Connecticut State University. And I'd like them just to stand and be recognized and introduce themselves. I don't want to put you on the spot. But you did.
My name is Lauren Berry. I'm currently a kindergarten teacher at Jerome Harrison and enjoying my pursuit of Biz 092.
Meg Peterson, special ed teacher at Tuckahoe Valley, 3rd grade.
Joe Modio, 3rd grade teacher to Tuckahoe Valley.
Carol Moore, and I'm also a 3rd grade teacher at Tuckahoe Valley.
Thank
I
you.
do want to, I want to acknowledge there's a number of staff members that are enrolled in this program, and as you know, in their busy lives with outside of what they do each and every day and every night preparing to bring these programs forward and work with our children, this is a great deal of work, time, and commitment, and we are so proud of their commitment to our school district and moving forward, moving into a leadership role. So I just want to acknowledge and commend them and thank them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
All right, the next board meeting, November 20th, 2014.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.